Queen Camila stepped right up to the tomb guard, her voice slicing through the Arlington chill like a royal decree. "Salute your queen," she commanded, all polished poise and expectation. He didn't flinch, didn't blink, just held that M14 like it was forged from the bones of forgotten wars. His gaze drilling into the horizon past 400,000 headstones. The crowd gasped. Tourists froze. Mid-selfie vets muttered under their breath. One aide looked ready to swallow his clipboard. To them, he was just another stone-faced soldier playing protocol chicken with a crown. But what nobody in that sacred plaza knew, not the Secret Service suits hovering close, not even the protocol hacks scrambling for damage control, was that this tomb guard had buried a princess's secret 28 years deep, and the one man who could blow it wide open was a 4-star general rolling up in a black Suburban badges gleaming with Diana's last words burning in his pocket. Before we dive into this story, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments, and if you believe that values like honor, courage, and sacrifice still matter, join us in keeping their legacy alive. It's a crisp fall day in Virginia, the kind where the leaves are turning that fiery red and gold, crunching under your boots like they're whispering secrets from the ground. Arlington National Cemetery stretches out like a sea of white marble headstones, row after row, each one a story cut short. Over 400,000 souls laid to rest here. Heroes from every war America's ever fought, from the Revolution to the endless sands of the Middle East. The air smells like damp earth and fallen leaves, with that faint sharp tang of gunpowder from the wreath-laying ceremonies that happen damn near every day. In the center of it all, at the tomb of the unknown soldier, stands Sergeant Elias Cain. He's 42, built like a oak tree that's weathered a few storms, tall, lean, with a jaw that could crack walnuts. His uniform is that crispy army blue, pressed so sharp you could shave with the creases. The kepi hat sits low over his eyes, those dark shades hiding a stare that seemed too much. Slung across his chest is the M14 rifle, polished to a mirror shine bayonet, fixed like it's ready for whatever ghost might wander up. Elias has been on post for 2 hours now, and he hasn't moved a muscle, not a twitch. His heels are locked together, spine ramrod, straight-gloved hands gripping that rifle like it's an extension of his soul, feet numb from the chill seeping up from the granite. Doesn't matter. Blisters forming under those boots, ignore it. That's the Sentinel's creed, duty above all. Elias wasn't always this statue in blue. 28 years ago, he was just a fresh-faced kid from Ohio, 18, and full of that wide-eyed fire you get when Uncle Sam calls your name. He enlisted, stood right out of high school, shipped off to basic, and ended up in D.C. for a special detail. That's where he crossed paths with her Princess Diana. Yeah, the people's princess. She was in town for some charity gig, shaking hands with politicians and lighting up rooms like she owned the joint. But Elias wasn't one of the shiny brass button types in the photos. He was shadow-detailed, the quiet guy in the back with eyes on the exits, scanning for threats that don't show up in the headlines. It was late after the big dinner at the British Embassy. Diana slipped out for a smoke, old habit she was trying to kick, and Elias drew the short straw to keep an eye on her from the garden shadows. She spotted him, of course. That woman had a radar for the overlooked. "You there?" she said, her voice soft, but with that British lilt that made everything sound like poetry. "What's your name, soldier?" "Elias Cain." "Ma'am," he replied, snapping to attention like a fool. Heart-pounding hell. He was more nervous around her than in his first firefight. Later on, she smiled. That real one, not the camera flash version. Lit a cigarette and offered him one, which he turned down with a grin. "Smart lad. These things will kill you slower than the job, but still." They talked for maybe 10 minutes about Ohio winters, her boys back home, the weight of the world on shoulders too young to carry it. But then her face changed. The light dimmed. "Elias," she whispered, glancing over her shoulder, like the walls had ears. "Promise me something. If something happens to me, an accident, or I just vanish from the spotlight one day, remember, I didn't choose it. Some people get what they want by making others disappear." Smiling the whole time. He thought she was tired, jet-lagged, maybe. "Ma'am, you're the strongest person I've ever met. Ain't nobody making you disappear." She gripped his arm nails, digging in through the sleeve. Her eyes, God, those blue eyes locked on his. "I've learned to trust my gut about folks who threaten," with a grin. "Tonight I saw eyes planning my exit for months. In this family, I'm just an obstacle. Promise me, don't let them rewrite me. Don't turn me into a footnote in someone else's story." Elias promised, swore it on his mother's grave, though she was still kicking back in Cleveland at the time. 3 weeks later, Paris, the tunnel, the world stopped spinning for a minute. Elias punched a wall so hard he broke his hand. Kept the promise though, buried it deep, channeled it into 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, Sand in his boots, IEDs that turned buddies into ghosts. He made it back qualified for the Old Guard, the 3rd Infantry Regiment. Tomb Guard duty, that's the pinnacle. 1 year of hellish training, 24-hour marches, rifle drills till your arms scream, memorizing every headstone in Arlington like it's your own obituary. Now, here he is on this October day, mind wandering to that garden chat, as the wind picks up rattling the flags half-staff for some dignitary's visit. Speaking of which, the motorcade's rolling in. Black SUVs, tinted windows, dark as midnight, flanked by Secret Service in those earpieces and shades. It's Queen Camila's show today. Yeah, her, Charles's better half or whatever the tabloids call her these days. Official visit to strengthen the special relationship between the US and UK. Some trade talks, a wreath laying at the tomb to honor the shared sacrifices. Arlington's seen its share of royals, Elizabeth, Philip, even William and Kate. But Camila first time, and the crowd's buzzing about it. Over by the amphitheater, Emily Torres is wrangling her 8-year-old son, Mateo. She's from Sacramento out here on a solo mom trip, divorced teacher by day, royal gossip junkie by night. Look, mijo, she says, hoisting him up for a better view. That's the president's limo behind hers. And see those guys in blue tomb guards? They don't move for nobody. Not rain, not snow, not even a queen. Mateo squints, munching a pretzel. Why not mom? She's fancy. Emily laughs that easy California chuckle. Because this place ain't about fancy kiddo. It's about the guys who didn't come home. Those guards, they're standing for every single one. Nearby, Colonel Hank Harlan Rusty to his buddies is holding court with a cluster of vets. Hank, 65, retired after 40 years, a lifer from the Gulf War with a prosthetic leg that clicks when he walks. White mustache like a broom. Vietnam vet hat perched on his head. Listen up, he's drawling in that thick Texas twang, gesturing with a thermos of black coffee. Arlington ain't just graves, it's a promise. We bury our best here so the rest of us remember freedom ain't free, and those sentinels, hell, they walk that mat like they're marching to Valhalla. One of the vets, a grizzled Korean War vet named Gus, not slow, damn right, saw JFK lay a wreath once, wind howling like a banshee, and those boys didn't flinch. The crowd swelling, now tourists with fanny packs, school groups on field trips, a smattering of Brits waving Union Jacks. Emily's phone's out filming the procession. This is going to be gold for the gram, she mutters. Camila steps out of the limo first, tall, elegant in a navy coat with that subtle fur trim hat angled just so. Her smile's practiced waving like she's on a float in the Rose Parade, flanked by aides in a couple of State Department suits. She makes her way to the tomb plaza, laying that wreath with all the solemnity of a pro. But as she straightens up, her eyes scan the line of dignitaries, the flag snapping in the breeze, and they lock on Elias, just for a beat. But it's there, a flicker like she's seen a ghost. Elias feels at that prickle on the back of his neck. 28 years is a long time, but some faces stick like burrs. He doesn't move, doesn't blink, eyes fixed on that invisible point, 1,000 yards out, just like training drilled into him. The ceremony kicks off. Boogler plays to the colors. Rifles crack in a 21-gun salute from the Quezon platoon. Crowds hushed, respectful. Emily whispers to Mateo, "See, this is America at its best. No crowns, no capes, just honor." Hank tips his hat as Camila passes nearby. "Your Majesty," he says, voice growly but polite. "Welcome to sacred ground." She nods that queenly incline. "Thank you, Colonel. It's humbling, but humbling don't last." As the formalities wrap the handshakes, the photo ops Camila's path veers. Protocol says she heads straight to the reception tent for tea and chit-chat. But no, she drifts off, script aides, scrambling to keep up, straight toward the tomb, toward Elias's post. The crowd senses it, murmurs ripple like wind through the oaks. Emily zooms her camera. What the brain is she going over there? Hank straightens coffee, forgotten. Well, I'll be damned. That's not on the program. Camila stops a respectful 5T from the black mat where Elias stands eternal watch, close enough to smell the polish on his boots, the faint leather of her gloves brushing the air. She tilts her head up. Elias towers at 6'3", and that smile tightens just a hair. "Sergeant," she says, voice carrying that crisp Oxford edge, loud enough for the front row folks to hear, "I believe a queen and a guest of your great nation is due a salute from her host's finest guardians." The plaza goes still. Not a leaf stirs. Elias, he doesn't twitch. Rifle steady as the P2 gaze locked forward. Protocol's clear as day. Sentinels don't salute individuals. They guard the unknowns, no exceptions. Not for presidents, not for popes, sure as hell, not for queens. Emily holds her breath steady, Mateo's eyes wide as saucers. Hank mutters under his breath, "Boy's doing his job. Let it be." But Camila, she's not one to let be. Her chin lifts a fraction. "Perhaps you didn't catch that, Sergeant." A simple gesture of respect for the alliance that binds our nations. Still nothing. The wind whistles through the headstones, carrying the faint echo of a distant taps from another service. Crowds shifting now, tourists leaning in, vets exchanging glances. One Brit in the back pipes up, "Oi, give the lady her due." Emily shoots him a side-eye. "This ain't London, buddy. It's Arlington." Camila's smile holds, but her eyes narrow. "Tradition demands it, Sergeant. Or has America forgotten how to honor its friends?" Elias's chest rises and falls slow and even. Inside that old promise stirs like a coal banked too long, flaring hot. Diana's voice in his head. "Don't let them rewrite me." He stays stone. The standoff hangs thick as Virginia humidity. And folks, that's when things start to crack. The amphitheater's got that electric hum now, like the air before a thunderstorm rolls in off the Blue Ridge. Camila's aides are hovering like nervous hens. One guy's checking his watch, another whispering into a lapel mic. State Department protocol officer, a wiry fella named Jenkins, steps forward half a pace, all smiles and oil. "Your Majesty, if we could proceed to the..." She waves him off with a gloved hand, sharp as a parade ground bark. "No, Jenkins, this is a matter of courtesy." Her voice drops a notch, but it's got that royal steel underneath the kind honed in ballrooms where one wrong word ends dynasties. She leans in a touch, not breaking the invisible line, mind you, but close enough that Elias can see the fine lines around her eyes, the pearl earrings catching the autumn sun. "Sergeant Cain is in it. I recall a face like yours from years back. Paris, perhaps." Elias's gut twists, but his face blank slate. Paris, that word's a knife in the ribs. He remembers the embassy chatter after the crash. Whispers of tampered brakes, paparazzi payoffs, shadows pulling strings from London drawing rooms. Diana's fear wasn't paranoia, it was prophecy, but he holds breeze through it. The creed echoes in his skull. "My dedication to this sacred duty is total and wholehearted." The crowd's picking up on the vibe. Emily's filming like her life depends on it, narrating under her breath for Mateo. "She baby. This is intense. Mom's got the shot of a lifetime." A couple rows back, Gus, the vet, nudges Hank. "Rusty, you think the boy's going to crack?" That limey accent's got bite. Hank snorts soft like gravel in a boot. "Crack Elias Cain. Hell, son." He stared down insurgents in Fallujah with less than a full mag. "Queen's got nothing on that." Camila presses on her tone, shifting from velvet to velvet wrapped around rebar. "In my country, guards salute their sovereign. It's not a request. It's the thread that holds the tapestry together. Surely in this bastion of honor, you understand the weight of symbols." She gestures lightly toward the tomb. That massive white sarcophagus etched with the words, "Here rests in honor glory, an American soldier known but to God," like she's invoking it as backup. Elias doesn't budge, his left heel's starting to throb from the stance, but pain's just noise. Focus on the horizon, past the oaks, past the eternal flame at JFK's grave. That's where the real watch is kept for the unknowns, the forgotten, the Dinas of the world who get erased by history's eraser. A murmur ripples through the tourists. Some chuckle nervously. Is this part of the show? Others pull out phones, live streaming to TikTok and Insta. Emily's feed's blowing up already. "Y'all, Queen C just called out a tomb guard. Drama alert. Knock you on your Arlington stand." Camila's patience frays at the edges. Her smile's still there, but it's the kind you plaster on for bad news at a state dinner. "Sergeant, this isn't stubbornness. It's dereliction. Your president would expect better from his elite. Or do the old guard now pick and choose their respects?" That lands like a gut punch. Jenkins winces, stepping closer. "Ma'am, perhaps we silence." She snaps low but fierce. The aides freeze. The crowd dead quiet now, hanging on every word. Even the birds seem to shut up. From the vet cluster, Hank can't hold his tongue anymore. He limps forward a step, voice booming like artillery. "With respect, Your Majesty, this ain't about picking. It's about the unknowns. Those boys don't salute titles. They stand for the fight. Elias here's doing exactly what he's sworn to." Camila turns slow like a turret swiveling. Her eyes appraise Hank mustache hat, the limp, and dismiss him in a blink. "And you are Colonel Harland, U.S. Army retired, served from Desert Storm to the Sandbox." Seen more salutes than you've had hot dinners, ma'am. But none mean a damn if they're forced. A smatter of applause from the vets. Quick, respectful, but there. Emily whoops under her breath. You tell her grandpa. Camila's jaw tightens. That aristocratic chill settling in. She pivots back to Elias's voice, dropping to a hiss that carries just to him in the front row. I know your type, Sergeant. The quiet ones with grudges buried deep. But grudges don't honor the dead. They dishonor the living. She pauses, searching his shaded eyes. Diana, that's it, isn't it? That old ghost. She was a tragedy. Yes, but tragedies end. Life marches on, and so must you. Elias's breath catches first real hitch all day. Diana's name on her lips like venom and honey. Flashback hits hard that garden night. Diana's hand trembling on his arm. Elias. They're smiling assassins. Camila, she wants my place, my light. Promise you'll remember I was real. I mattered. He swallows it down, stays stone. But inside the coals glowing red, the standoff stretches 10 seconds, 20. Feels like hours. A kid in the crowd tugs his dad's sleeve. Dad, why is the guard ignoring the Queen? Isn't that rude? Dad shushes him but whispers back, Nah son, that's American rude. The good kind. Camila straightens all 5 foot whatever of her, drawing up like she's 10 foot tall. Very well. If silence is your salute, Sergeant, then let it echo. But know this respect isn't optional. Not for crowns, not for coffins. She turns on her heel click of those low pumps on the path and strides toward the tent aides, scurrying like ducklings. The crowd exhales. Emily lowers her phone, heart hammering. Holy crap, mijo. Did that just happen? Hank claps Elias on the shoulder from afar. Can't get too close to the post, but his grin's wide. Attaboy held the line. But Elias, he feels the shift, the promise cracking open like a fault line under Virginia soil. Camila knew his name, knew Paris. This ain't coincidence, it's collision. As the reception tents fill with clinking teacups and small talk, the plaza empties slow. Tourists drift to the gift shop. Vets swap war stories. Emily lingers replaying her video. This is viral gold. But damn, that felt personal. Hank nods, eyeing the tomb. It was, and it ain't over. Elias's relief hits at the end of his walk. Flawless, 21st steps, precise turn rifle high. But as he marches back to the barracks, that coal in his chest, it's a bonfire now. Duty's calling louder than ever. And tomorrow, hell, tomorrow's when the real stand begins. Dawn breaks over Arlington like God's own spotlight. Pink and gold streaking the Petoek headstones, glowing soft in the mist. Elias is back on post by 0600. Same drill inspection oath. The slow march onto that black mat. But today's different. Words leaked overnight. Emily's video hit 1 million views by midnight. Tomb guard stands tall. Comments flooding in. Queen who respect the unknowns. Finally, someone calls out the royals. CNN's got a morning tease. Diplomatic dust up at Arlington. Elias ignores it. Focus on the creed. But as the sun climbs, so does the crowd, bigger than yesterday. Buzzing like a hive. More vets' families with kids holding tiny flags. Even a news van parked discreet way off. Camila's schedule wreath round 2. Then a presser. She's due any minute. The limo purr up at 10 sharp. Camila emerges. Same navy coat, but today's got an edge. Her posture's tighter, smile a fraction cooler. Aides flank her, Jenkins looking like he swallowed a lemon. She lays the wreath quick. All business then. Yep, beers again. Straight to Elias. Crowd parts like the Red Sea. Emily's there front row. Mateo on her shoulders. Round 2, folks. She whispers to her phone. Hank's got the vet squad. Gus, a couple younger Iraq guys forming a loose honor guard of their own. Camila stops closer this time. Close enough. Elias smells her perfume. Something floral and sharp like roses with thorns. Sergeant Cain, she says, voice pitched for the mics in the crowd. Yesterday was regrettable. A misunderstanding of protocols. Today, let us set it right. Salute your guest. Honor the bond between our peoples. Elias Stone. Rifle gleams. Shades reflect her like a mirror. The plaza's so quiet you hear the leaves scraping pavement. Her lips thin. This is unbecoming, in affront to the tomb itself. She glances at the sarcophagus, then back. Or is it personal? That promise you made her. Diana. It binds you still, doesn't it? Gasps ripple. Emily's camera shakes. She said the name. Oh man. Hank steps up, voice steady. Ma'am, with all due, back off the lad. He's serving honor, not grudges. Camila whirls. Honor. This is theater. A soldier sulking over a dead princess while the world watches. That's the spark. Elias moves. Not much. Just a shift in grip. Rifle, angling a hair. His voice comes low, steady as granite. I serve the fallen ma'am. The unknowns. The ones silenced too soon. He pauses, breath even like Diana. The crowd inhales, sharp phones up, flashes popping like distant firecrackers. Camilla's face pales under the makeup. You dare. I dare because I was there. Elias's words cut clean. No shout, just truth dropping like lead. 1997 Embassy Garden. She was scared, ma'am. Not of cameras, of smiles hiding plans. Some people make competition vanish, she said. Grip my arm, begged me. Don't let them rewrite me. Emily's tearing up now, filming through blurry eyes. He's doing it, telling her story. Hank nods fierce. Let him speak, your majesty. Truth's overdue. Camilla's gloved fists clench. Lies, slander from a boy playing soldier. Elias doesn't flinch. Not a boy now. Man who's buried friends in these hills, seeing what power does when it don't like the light. You took her place with deceit, ma'am. Whispers deals in the dark. If not for you, she might be here still fighting, still shining. The plaza erupts. Not cheers, but a wave of whispers turning to murmurs. Gus bellows. Hell yeah, speak it, son. A mom in the crowd hugs her kid tight. That's for all the forgotten ones. Camilla's composure cracks, jaw set, eyes flashing. You know nothing of sacrifice, Sergeant. I stood by a king while the world tore him down. Earned my crown through fire. Fire. Elias counters, voice rising just a notch. Diana walked minefields for kids with no legs. Held AIDS patients when folks spat on her. That was fire. Yours smoke and mirrors. The vets roar approval, fist-pumping aura. Emily's live chat explodes. Go guard. Diana lives in us. Jenkins tugs Camilla's sleeve. Ma'am, the press. She yanks free, leaning in venomous. You'll rue this, Cain. Your career ends here. No pension, no parade, just disgrace. Elias meets her gaze. Shades off now somehow in the heat. His eyes brown and battle-worn bore in. I'd rather disgrace than forget. She made me promise. The fallen demanded. Duty ain't blind obedience. It's guarding the truth. Camila reels back, aides swarming. The crowd's on fire, claps thundering. Someone starts chanting Diana. Soft at first, then swelling. Secret Service shifts hands on holsters. But Jenkins waves them down. Stand easy, it's contained, but it ain't. Emily's video hits 2 million. A reporter from Fox yells, Sergeant, what about the conspiracy? Elias snaps back to position, rifle up, stance locked. Silence his answer, but the words hang heavy as fog off the river. Camila storms to the limo door, slamming like judgment. As it peels out, the plaza feels bigger, brighter. Hank slaps Elias's back, post-relief touch and go, but aloud, proud of you, Iron. That was guts. Emily approaches Shy Mateo, peeking, Sergeant. That was wow. For my boy here, teach him heroes are real. Elias nods, faint smile, cracking the stone. Ma'am, just did my job. But inside the bonfire roars, promise kept. Ghost late, if only for a morning. The boogler plays retreat. As the sun peaks, melancholy notes winding through the oaks. Crowd lingers, dropping flowers at the tomb's base. Whispers of what next. But for Elias marching off post, it's simple. Stand tall. Truth told, fall and honored. The barracks at Fort Myer hum like a hive, kicked phones, buzzing boots, scuffing linoleum as the old guard brass calls an emergency huddle. Elias sits in the COSARFIS uniform, still crisp, but that fire in his chest, bank now smoldering. Colonel Ramirez, short tough a ranger vet, paces file in hand. Cain, what the hell? Videos everywhere. State Department's breathing down my neck. You just lit a match under the special relationship. Elias sits straight, eyes front. Sir spoke truth to the fallen's honor. No regret. Ramirez sighs, rubs his temples. Truce a luxury, son. Duty's the bill. But damn if you didn't nail the creed. He glances at the door. Jenkins outside looking sour. We'll handle the fallout for now. Stand down quietly. Elias nods. Understood, sir. Outside the posts of Madhouse. Reporters cordoned off, but leaks spring like saves. Emily's video 3 mil now trending worldwide. Chunker Arlington truth shock salute Diana memes of Elias as a superhero. Camila as the villain in a crown. Fox News Tomb Guard's epic takedown, Royal Rumble at sacred site. CNN diplomatic snub or heroic stand. Arlington erupts. Back at the plaza. A Hanks turned storyteller and chief vets clustered around a picnic table. Thermos passing hand to hand. CB boys, Elias ain't new to this. Iraq War 5. His squad pinned down RPGs raining. He held the line. Dragged 3 out. Purple Heart. No fuss. The same damn thing. Royals come and go. Honor stays. Gus chuckles. Toothpick rolling. Queen got that deer in headlights look priceless. A younger vet buzzcut and tattoos scrolls his phone. Check this British tabloid's losing it. Yank insolence. But our side GoFundMe for Elias already at 50K. Support the Sentinel. Emily's back too. Mateo tossing pebbles at a squirrel. She spots Hank waves. Colonel, you see the comments. Half the country's behind him. Hank grins. You bet, darling. That's America, folks. Rally around the underdog with a spine. She sits phone out. I met Diana once. You know, 92 hospital visit in LA. She hugged me after my chemo. Said you're the warrior, Elias. He's keeping that alive. Mateo pipes up. Mom, can we send him a drawing of a guard with a sword? Emily ruffles his hair. We sure can, buddy. By afternoon the wreath's back. Fresh from some anonymous donor lice in white roses spelling for Diana's truth. Crowd swells again. No official event. Just organic vigil. Families read the creed aloud. Kids saluting sloppy but sincere. A Marine in dress blues plays Amazing Grace on harmonica notes floating like smoke. Elias slips out post-meeting incognito in civvies jeans, hoodie ball cap low. Needs air, needs to walk the rows. He ends up at section 60, the fresh graves from Afghanistan. Traces a name, PFC Ramirez, unrelated to his but irony stings Edu brother. He mutters flashback dust choking the air, patching a buddy's leg while rounds snapped overhead. Hold on, man, we got this. But they didn't always. Footsteps crunch. Emily spotting him. Sergeant Elias didn't expect. He straightens. Ma'am, just paying respect. She holds out a crumpled envelope. Velope from my boy, and this inside a crayon drawing stick figure guard, sword raised princess with a crown waving. He says you're his hero. Elias takes it throat tight. Tell him heroes are the ones who draw the pictures. She smiles, eyes. Misty look, the world's going nuts. Palace issued a statement. Misunderstanding, mutual respect. But you opened the vault on Diana. Folks need it at Higham. He nods slow. She deserved more than footnotes. We all do, the fallen from the path. Hank hollers, Iron, get over here, you rascal. They join the vet's beers, crack discreet stories flowing. Remember N. Gus starts. LT ordered us into a hot LZ. I said no. Save the platoon. Got the boot but slept sound. Hank laughs. Discipline ain't chains, boys, it's compass. Night falls, soft lanterns flickering over graves. Elias walks Emily and Mateo to the gate. Safe travels, ma'am. Teach that kid well. Will do. And Elias thanks for reminding us what standing means. As they drive off, his phone buzzes unknown number. Voicemail, British accent clipped. Sergeant Cain, this is Lady Spencer, Diana's sister. Heard what you did. Thank you. She'd be proud. He replays it twice, sitting on a bench by the eternal flame. Flame dances shadows long. The weight lighter now. Promise kept, echoes heard. But fallout's brewing. Brass calls at dawn, hearing tomorrow. State wants apology. Elias, he'll stand again. Week later, the hearing room in the Pentagon smells like old coffee and polished oak brass hats staring down from portraits, flags drooping in the AC. Elias in full dress, chest full of ribbons, faces the panel. Ramirez, a general from SOCOM Jenkins, via video link. Sergeant Cain, the general starts, voice like rumbling thunder. Your actions, while well-intentioned, jeopardize diplomatic ties. Explain. Elias stands cleared. Sir, honored the creed, protected the tomb's sanctity, Diana's memory. Part of that truth for the silenced. Jenkins chimes in, pixelated scowl. Truth. It was spectacle. Her Majesty demands. Respect's earned, sir. Elias cuts in, polite but firm. Not demanded like the unknowns taught us. Ramirez hides a grin. The general leans back, fingers steepled. Video evidence shows no malice. Public support overwhelming. Petition with 500K signatures. Stand by the Sentinel. States backing off. Call it cultural exchange. Jenkins sputters but dismissed. The general says reprimand on file, but duty resumes. Monday back on post. Elias salutes crisp. Thank you, sir. Outside, Hank's waiting, mustache twitching with a smirk. Told you, Iron. Brass bends for backbone. They grab burgers at the O Club. Greasy, glorious with fries like freedom. What's next? Hank asked, ketchup on his chin. Elias shrugs. Same as always. Walk the mat. Keep the promise. New cycle spins wild way, opt. Can stand American honor over old world pomp. BBC snarks. But even they air the video. Camila jets home statement vague. Grateful for hospitality. Conversations continue, but whispers from London damage control and overdrive. Diana docks unsealed quiet. Emily's video hits 10 mil. She starts a podcast. Voices of the Vigil. First EP interview with Hank. It wasn't about the Queen. He draws. It was about the ghosts. Elias gave him voice. Mateo sends more art now. A whole series of guards versus dragons, princesses, saving the day. Elias pins him in the barracks right by his bunk. Months roll. Elias back on post, but the plaza's changed. More visitors. Quiet nods his way. A British family lays a wreath for Diana from across the pond. He stands watch, rifle steady, but inside peace, the coal's ash now warm, not hot. One evening post-shift, he walks to the tomb, sun dipping low, painting the marble gold. He traces the inscription, known to God. Whispers, kept it, ma'am. Your story is no footnote. From the shadows of figure Lady Spencer in person, graying hair, eyes like Diana's. Elias. She steps forward, hand out. Vicky, thank you. The family we knew she feared that night. Your words, they heal. He shakes, awkward but true. Just duty, ma'am. She smiles soft. Duty like hers. Keep standing. As she leaves, the boogler plays. Taps notes haunting, winding down the rows. Elias lingers. Flame flickering nearby. Arlington at dusk, eternal, unbroken. Back home in Ohio. Summers later. Elias retires. Quiet ceremony. No fanfare. Hank toast at the VFW to Iron Cain, the man who saluted with silence. Emily's there. Mateo grown afoot. Uncle Elias, the kid says, hugging awkward. You're why I want to join up. Elias ruffles his hair. Not for the fight, son, for the stands. And in living rooms across America, folks hit play on that old video. Not for scandal, but for the lesson. A salute ain't just hand to brow. It's heart to heart. Promise to the fallen. Truth over title. So, what about you? Ever stood when they said kneel? Drop your story in the comments. We're listening. Because real power, it doesn't demand the room. It owns it, quiet as a tomb guard at dawn. In Arlington, we don't bow to crowns. We stand for the ones who can't. And when we do, the world notices. God bless the fallen. God bless the standards. And God bless America.